Call meeting to order. The February 6th, 2019 meeting is now called to order. Can you get a roll call, please?
Snyder.
Here.
Wen.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Wenman.
Here.
Aaron's.
Here.
Fessler. Wilson.
Any corrections to the agenda? We now have the corrected agenda with public hearing.
Yep.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
So moved by Aaron's,
Second.
second by Snyder. We will now vote on approving the agenda. All those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
Those who oppose, say nay. Okay, motion carried. Any corrections to the minutes? Nope. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the January 2nd, 2019 meeting?
So moved.
So moved by Snyder,
Second.
second by Taylor. Do you have, on those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now, agenda item number 5, public hearing request by Encompass Health Iowa Real Estate LLC for the approval of the C-PUD-B site plan for Lot 1 Encompass Edition. I will now open the public hearing on this item.
John Marner with MMS Consultants. Jim, could you, or Scott, could you switch to the landscaping sheet? I just want to make one quick comment.
This one?
Do you have the landscaping from the
Oh.
PUD-B site plan?
On here.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it?
I just wanted to confirm, I know there was some discussion at the last minute about adding some additional landscaping along the south edge of the sidewalk that connects that peninsula portion of the building to the west back over to the east. We wanted some additional landscaping there, and then a few extra pockets of landscaping up to the north along the north side of the drive. We went ahead and added that. I think we've been working with the city and the Parks Department as well to make sure that we've got species of trees and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's it. And then we're available for questions. Serena Davis with Encompass Health is here, and again, John Marner with MMS Consultants if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to consider approval of the C-PUD-B site plan?
So moved.
So moved by Wenman,
Second.
second by Aaron's. Any discussion, Jim?
I'll just give you a brief description of it. As you can see, this is Encompass Healthcare. It's a 40-bed care facility. It's not necessarily a full-blown hospital at all. It's meant to be, you can go in there and you can get care if you have to leave the hospital. Your insurance runs out or something, you have to leave the hospital, you're not ready to go home yet, you need some therapy or you need a little more hospital time, then you would go to Encompass for that. I don't believe there's any emergency services at in Encompass at all. No operating room, nothing like that. It's basically for if you need an extended hospital stay or for rehab or something like that. They do all sorts of rehab work here as well. So this is a site plan for Encompass. It's on Coral Court. Easy way to explain it is it's across from the commercial buildings that are on Coral Court on the east side of Coral Court. So this is basically, you're looking at the roundabout there that is Jones Boulevard and Oakdale, Jones Boulevard, Oakdale Boulevard, and then over to the other part of the right part of the screen is the intersection of Coral Court and Oakdale Boulevard. So this is part of the Oakdale Boulevard, or Oakdale plan that Mr. Evans is doing. It's a one-lot subdivision. It has two axes. Yeah, it's right there. It's for 2450 right there. It's that corner of the lot right there. And there's two outlots there that are for future development should next person wants to develop there. But as you can see on Encompass, it has two access points, one on the north on Coral Court and one on the south on Coral Court. The main entrance to the building is in the northeast corner of the building. Right there, there's a main entrance. There's a canopy there for patient drop-off or visitor drop-off. You can see there's quite a bit of parking associated with this hospital. There is a center courtyard that has a little outdoor patient facility on it right there. There is 2 areas of this hospital that could be built onto. There's one on the south. You can kind of see it along that south sidewalk there. That area there is for future expansion. And then there's a smaller one up there on the northwest corner of the building that could be for future expansion should they need it in the future. You can see the road that goes all the way around, all the way around the north, all the way around the west, and back to the south portion, and then ties into the south outlet on Coral Court. It is basically a one-way. It is not for public use. It's basically just a emergency vehicle road around there if need be, or a maintenance vehicle around there, but it will be closed and not recommended for use by the public because they have the 2 entrances and exits onto Coral Court. This hospital is about 47,000, a little better than 47,000 square feet. It's all brick finish on the exterior. These are exterior drawings of it. I can't read that far, but so that would be the front entrance right there. That would be on the northeast corner of the building. Then you can see the other elevations. That would be, I can't tell you which one it is, but yeah.
It's the canopy.
That's the drop-off point, so that's the south elevation, basically. That's kind of a rendition of what it would look like if you drove up to the drop-off point. So that's about all I have for that discussion on that. If you have any other questions for me or for John or Serena, you can ask them.
Any questions?
Looks good to me.
We will now vote on approval of the C-PUD-B site plan. On those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
On those opposed, say nay. Motion carries 6-0. Agenda item number 6, a request by City of Coralville to have discussions on the Neighborhood Rezoning Project.
I'd like to rephrase this a little bit. We can't very well have a discussion on this, a full-blown discussion on this, because it has to be a public hearing, because it eventually is going to be a rezoning application. Our goal tonight is to kind of show you the area that we're really talking about. It's north of Coralville Central and Central Park. It's the 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue, 5th Avenue Place area, that area right in there. A lot of that area is at the present time Zone C2. The bulk of the development in there is all single family. There's a few scattered duplexes in this area. And the city just thinks it would be more representation of what was in the neighborhood if it would be exploring the option of anyhow of rezoning it from R2 to R1. Any duplex that's in there would be grandfathered in. They don't have to tear them down or anything if we rezone it because they're in an R1 zone. They're grandfathered in for the life of the duplex. So we kind of briefly just talked about this once before. We're working on now getting all of the properties identified and getting all of the paperwork ready and ready to send out all the letters and everything like that. But the council has expressed interest in going forward with this, so we are kind of talking about and planning on having maybe this on the March agenda, if we can get everything done and get everybody notified that because we have, as you can see, several people we have to send out letters to and what have you, so.
If I remember right, it didn't matter if the property was sold or anything like that. It was more of, was it more than 60% of the property was damaged?
If it's damaged, our code right now says if it's damaged more than 60%, it cannot be rebuilt.
And if it is rebuilt, it has to follow the zoning.
If it is rebuilt, it would have to, in that case, it would have to be built as an R1 or a single-family home. Yeah.
And how big is the area?
Yeah, I think Scott can kind of outline it for you.
I can measure it real quick. Around 21 acres, plus or minus.
There actually is a smattering along Fifth Street as well, if you can scroll down there, Scott. Kind of on the north side of Fifth Street, in that area there, there's, some of that is our R2 zoning area also, that has a smattering of duplexes in it. Once again, it's basically an R1 development. So that's another area we are looking at doing.
So how does this affect the ones on Fourth
Part-
Avenue? How does it affect Fourth Avenue, which is all duplexes and apartment buildings?
4th Avenue Place.
Fourth
Is it
Avenue
Fourth
Place?
Avenue Place, where that, you
This-
Yeah,
know,
Fourth-
that in there.
Yeah, that's pretty much gonna have to stay R2 because it's basically.
Yeah, but if it burns down tomorrow, will it have to be R1 then?
I don't know that we're actually targeting that place to rezone it.
Well, if you're doing the whole area as
Well-
R1, then that apartment building down there would be R1, right?
If we rezone
I
it to
gotta say,
R1,
I just-
but there's actually 3 apartment buildings down there,
Yeah.
that, yeah, would be affected by that.
And I,
So we're not gonna really blanket R1 in the whole area, maybe
We're not
spot
we're not
R-
gonna blanket that, we're
Yeah.
not gonna touch that area there.
yeah, and
That's the way
I
that area is
just drew
developed
the
now.
boundary to,
Yeah, that's what I
Estimate
was
the
wondering,
acres,
is it
so-
Oh,
blanket,
no,
we're
he-
gonna do
no.
R1 blanket it, or is it gonna be everything but those ones that are apartment buildings and leave them as R2 or R4 or
And
whatever
and
they are?
there's, yeah, in that area, there's the department development on the corner of Sixth and First Avenue as well.
Yeah,
And we're not gonna do that because that's already.
that's why I was just
Yeah,
wondering
no,
if if
no.
we were gonna, blanket zone it, or if it was gonna be zone the ones that are 50
Yeah.
foot
And that's
wide
a-
lots,
and
should
that
probably
one-
only be R1.
This
And
is a
that one there
fourplex,
is,
right?
that has to stay R3, so we're not, because
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
use that's in there, we're not gonna change that either.
yes,
Pardon me?
That one's brand new. I
20,
bet.
Yeah, that's very new.
2017.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very new.
And
we're
Jim,
not-
you say that you're gonna have a public discussion on this?
It'll be a public hearing on this.
Public
yes.
hearing, okay.
Yep, has to be a public hearing at P and Z and council both, because it's a rezoning. There'll be a public hearing, all the neighbors will be notified, all the affected property owners will be notified, so.
And I get a question, if you leave it R2, can they build an R1 in an R2 zone? I
Only
mean,
with
can you
a-
build a single family in an R2
Only
zoning?
with a conditional use permit granted by the Board of Adjustment.
That's why I never could, if you could build under the,
Can't do that anymore, we don't have that type of zoning
that's what I
anymore.
thought. So if it is R2, you can't even build an R1 in there.
Not without a conditional use
Oh,
permit granted,
okay.
no.
Another
We have
reason
that,
to
we have
change
that
it.
provision in the code for this, for that particular use, yeah. We only have one instance that I can remember we did that. And that's when the.
That's another reason to
when
change it
the-
to R1.
When the Hug House burned down, yeah. That's it.
Okay.
We have about 4 things we're looking at for the next meeting. We're just starting the review on them, so we haven't had our big review team meeting yet, so I'm not sure where they'll go or how many will advance. But we have maybe about 4 we'll be looking at. And for your information, Encompass will be on the second meeting of the month, second council meeting of the month. And it's a 1 public hearing reading, so it's just 1 reading.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
So
And
moved by
seconded.
Snyder, seconded by Aaron. The meeting is now adjourned.